Today on the show, it's Hot Comics Monthly, the show where I tell you the hot comics that are coming out this month. This month being June 2014. Before we really get into the meat of things, can I just say it's really weird that it's June already? Like, New Year feels like it was 2 weeks ago. 2014's going very, very fast, and it's actually a really good year, so that's sad. Please slow down, 2014. Anyway, onto the comics. To begin with, we have Bee and Puppycat #2 from Boom Studios. For all of you that don't know, Bee and Puppycat is an animation that was created by the same person that created Fiona and Cake for Adventure Time. And the company that produced it is the same company that produces Bravest Warriors. The animation was hilarious and fans loved it. And because fans loved it so much, they held a Kickstarter to create a full series. The Kickstarter did amazingly well, and because it did so well, it's also getting a comic book series now, which is what we're reading at the moment. Now, I was kind of curious as to how good this comic was going to be because the person that created Bee and Puppycat actually went to school to create comics. What I was worried about is that the charm of animation doesn't always translate well over into comics, and the same for vice versa, but in this situation, I was so wrong, and I was so happy I was wrong. If you like Bravest Warriors, Adventure Time, or even the Bee and Puppycat animation, definitely pick up this comic book series because it's great. Infinity Man and the Forever People. This is like a really old school set of characters, like Jack Kirby Fourth World kind of old school. There is no way in hell that this series is going to be newcomer friendly. But if you want to take a risk and really test your comic book knowledge, definitely pick it up. But I can't imagine anyone who hasn't been reading comics for a while understanding what's going on in this series. Basically, the Forever People in this incarnation are 4 characters coming to Earth from New Genesis to study Earthlings and to help Earth progress technologically. But then they discover some kind of threat to the multiverse and run into Infinity Man and realize he is the key to saving the multiverse, and an adventure begins. Like I said, it could be kind of hard going if you don't really know old school comics, particularly Jack Kirby Fourth World kind of stuff. It might be a little bit like Final Crisis the series. Superboy number 32. No, but guys, I've really been relating to Superboy a lot recently. Ever since I accepted my really short temper, I've been relating to him more and more, particularly 90s Superboy, not necessarily New 52 Superboy, but I've definitely been relating to him a lot. Now, Superboy, when it first started, was possibly the worst series in the New 52. Or rather, it was the worst series in the New 52, no questions asked. But I stuck with it, and I've stuck with it from start to now. I haven't necessarily read all the issues because some of them were really, really bad, but it's getting better. It's getting a lot better. It's stepped its game up 10 times over, and I'm so excited about that. Let me read you off the short blurb describing what happens in Superboy number 32. The return of the son of Superman to the present day means an all-new Superboy for the New 52. John Lane Kent takes off for Nowhere Lab and finds Ravagers, and the Superboy clone body captured by Harvest. What comes next changes John's life forever. Now, we know that 5 years in the future, Kon-El is back and alive in the New 52. We know that because of the cover art in the Future's End comics. So that means some point before September, Kon-El is coming back. Now, with this artwork and with that blurb, could he be coming back in Superboy number 32? I think so. Now, my recommendation to who this series is for. If you liked Superboy in the Young Justice cartoon, don't read this series, you will be disappointed. Superboy in the Young Justice cartoon was really weird. Like, I liked him as a character, he just wasn't Superboy, if you know what I mean. Superboy in the comics, when he first met Superman, he outright ignored him. He didn't care that it was Superman. He didn't care that he was technically meeting his dad. He just wanted to go around stealing from ATMs and having fun. Now, if you are familiar with the Young Justice cartoon and you do want to read the Superboy comic, try ignoring the Young Justice cartoon as you read the Superboy comic, and keep in mind that the Young Justice cartoon is very inaccurate for all of its characters. Superboy in the comics is such a fun character. He wasn't nearly as serious as he was in the cartoon, and I feel like that's the direction they're taking the Superboy comic into, and I'm so excited about that. Having a really fun character is something you can't do with John Lane Kent, but you can definitely do it with Con L. Figment number 1. Now Figment is actually being released under Marvel's Disney imprint, which I was very impressed with in terms of Seekers of the Weird, although I didn't finish the series because it got a little bit too slow for me. I wish I could tell you more about Figment, but I've only seen the cover art, and I'm really excited about this cover art. I love steampunk, but I love it as an extension of OG fashion, which still excites me. This cover has 3 things that really excite me: steampunk, top hats, and a baby dragon. There is nothing on this cover for me not to love, so I'm very excited about this series. I don't want it ruined for me because I do believe it's a limited series, so I just don't want any idea of what's going to happen, but I'm very excited for it. Finally, we have Rise of the Magi number 1 from Image Comics. Now this series is an indie series, and the main reason I picked it out is because I looked at this cover artwork and I was instantly taken back to the books of magic. Also, I don't really read too many monthly indie titles, and I kind of want to improve that about myself, and I think a good old magic story might be the perfect place to start. I don't really have much to say on this series because it is an indie series, it's not part of a larger universe, it doesn't have any history that I can commentate on, so who knows, it might be good, it might be terrible, but I'm excited for it. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. What comics are you looking forward to this month? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more Hot Comics Monthly. And also don't forget to support the show by checking out my Patreon, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my gaming channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.